Hey all. So, what is this you're seeing? This is the amazing Sound FX Machine by Remco. Remco was a company from the 70s. I don't know, they might have been around the 60s as well. But they built all kinds of toys, like from I remember when I was a kid at my grandmother's place. She had these Batman, Remco brand Batman dolls that had like a leotard kind of stretchy material for their clothes, and they did Planet of the Apes, just a bunch of cool stuff, and they did like some cool electronic things, and especially later on. Sorry. And come rolling 1979, Texas Instruments puts out the 2N76477, I believe, or 778, which is this one. It's called a complex sound synthesizer chip. Hold on, I got. Oh, where are you? Come on, I just saw you the other day. Hold on. Alright. Bam. Complex sound generator. It even has this giant bit of a data sheet info for how to use it. These are very popular among hobbyists. It didn't make it into a ton of commercial products. Made into this. I think it made it into. I'm not sure. There was a couple of chips just like that. But anyway, it's my favorite chip in the whole world. I'm like a huge chip junkie. I love, like, I collect them. The weirder, more awesome they are, the better for me. And I've been working on a synth module that uses this. Now, this is not necessarily some brilliant idea of mine, although I kind of thought about it before realizing that it's already done. But Thomas Henry, he wrote articles for Paya magazine, and he wrote a bunch of articles about different projects you could build and make using one of those chips, particularly for percussion. But also he had one that was like, it has, let's see here, remember, it has, it's kind of complicated, but it has a low frequency triangle wave, which really you can make it high frequency. It's just, I don't know, I want to give you that wide range or something. And there's a digital noise generator, so it's like a clocked shift register type noise generator. So you'll hear some of that, like slower clock rate. It's like, it's got this cool, like, I don't know, cool sound. And there's a square wave, which is, it seems to be considered the main sound, audio sound wave that other things are connected to. Like, well, before I go on, there's also a something called a one shot. So there's a button You press this button here, activator, and then it's basically hooked up to an envelope generator. It's kind of weird because it's these two knobs that dictate this. This one seems to be for the attack. This one seems to be for the decay. But sometimes I feel like these knobs are changing what they're doing. Okay, what else am I missing here? Yeah, so, and if you're looking at this mixer up here, it's basically like a logic code selector. So these are ones and zeros, and because this was meant to be put under some amount of computer control, it doesn't really have that much programmability that way. It's just but you could switch. This determines what the output of the sound is, whether it's going to sound like a helicopter or a ray gun. And yeah, so different positions do different things. You'll hear it. Sometimes it's especially when used in conjunction with this one shot, so it goes through an envelope of sound and comes to an end as well. So one thing that's probably not important, but some of you geeks like me, the one that is in the chip that's inside of here is slightly different. The one that's in here is the 76488, I believe, and the only difference of that really is it has a 2 pins that can be used to drive a speaker output, which is what's going on here. Okay, so originally this one's a little busted. Originally had these like plastic useless handle things here that I wish they're still there, but I have a brand new spanking one of these, and I'm unfortunately have to sell this one because I need money. Battery, no cover, no big deal. So let's see, I forget what this one shot control is in. I don't know, huh? I'm realizing there's a some weird instruction back here about the one shot, but I don't quite understand it. I'll have to look into that and see if it's of any real relevance, or if they're just sometimes there's like a, what do you call it, little thing that's like, well, we couldn't get this to be quite right, so just so it needs to be like this when you do this. Whatever. Alright, you guys want to hear what it sounds like, right? So before that, I'm going to tell you what mods I did, okay? There is an audio output, 1/4 inch. There is a 9-volt input, standard barrel, center negative, pedal power type power supply. This switch here, this switches the internal speaker on and off. This is the master volume. Now, oops. This does not shut off this sound. It just shuts off the speaker. That's it. So, just be careful. The master power switch is right here. But, So the way this works is it's something you need to kind of sit down and read and experiment to really get it. But it's, you know, it's like a modular synthesizer with one thing going into another, and this is kind of like a patch bay in a very simple way. It'll determine what is modulating one of the oscillators. You know, there's what they call the LFO oscillator here, although it goes into audio range, and then the regular square wave. Oh, there's a little ant. Alright, so what's the speed? There's some combinations that don't create sound, or they don't create sound until you start like readjusting some things. But it's funny when these are all on position, there's no sound. Let's try that. See if we can get the explosion at the end. Forget how to do that. Ow. There we go. Make this a little longer. It's so awesome. The crazy thing is, if you're using the speaker, oh, besides me hooking up the switch for the speaker, I attenuated the volume of the speaker because it was just so loud. Like, I'm sure parents just took this and hate it and be like, I don't know what happened to it. Well, now that I've woken up everyone in my house, it's, you know, endless sounds. You just start getting used to what goes, you know, connects where. And like I said, the this is a data sheet, but it's a, you know, a manual for the chip that tells you like this is kind of this part is probably the most important part to get a grasp on, because then you know what's going into what. So yeah, I don't really want to sell this one. I got it when it was busted up. The pots are busted up, and I was like, I'm going to bring this back to life. So I spent a lot of time and I'm trying a lot of clever ways to get it solid and working, and that's exactly what I did. But like I said, need some cash flow, just dealing with lots of bills and lots of crap. So anyway, I'm gonna throw it up probably on reverb, and yeah, see if anybody wants it. Alright, thanks guys.